voters in one of America's most competitive swing states? Does the energy in New York, LA, DC, and Denver translate in the Midwest? Progressive Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed of Michigan certainly thinks so. And in Wisconsin, Democratic Socialist Assemblywoman Francesca Hong is now leading the polls in the state's Democratic primary for governor. Assemblywoman Hong joins me now. It is great to see you this morning and to have you on. I want to start our conversation just digging in a little bit into your background, because it's different than the backgrounds of a lot of the politicians that we speak to. You're the child of Korean immigrants. At one point, you had to drop out of college to work. And
who we rooting for in Wisconsin? Francesca Hong all the way, baby. What the fuck are you talking about? And one of the things that you will see in this interview that Fox News covered is the same thing that they're trying to do with Abdul. They're trying to hit her with the Abdul line. Why did you appear on Hasan Piker's stream? Don't you regret it?
You were sued last year over credit card debts that you've since paid off, but that's something that many Americans can actually relate to, but maybe not too many governors or lawmakers. So tell me a bit about how your personal upbringing has informed your politics.
Well,
I'm interview mogging MSNBC, MSDNC. I asked this question way better.
First of all, thank you so much, Antonio, for having me. And being a service industry worker means that, I am a hustler and I know what it means to work hard, like so many Wisconsinites across the state. And my lived experiences in the service.
David Crowley dropped out and told everyone else to drop out and support Rodriguez is fuck, dog. Yeah. I know. They are aggressively trying to push the centrist line of support behind one candidate. They're trying to solidify centrist support behind Rodriguez right now. And the other side of the story, of course, is Mandela Barnes, who previously had who previously ran as a left flank candidate, and they dropped the National Party did not support him for that reason. So now Barnes is actually running a centrist candidacy himself, but he still has like a little bit of that progressive wing backing him as well. So Francesca actually has, even though she's the most popular and has been the most popular candidate in the primaries, there are a lot of forces. There are a lot of forces that are at play here that are trying to rat fuck Francesca Hong's candidacy.
Service industry, as a restaurant owner, and 5 years now in the state legislature, I think it gives me an opportunity to connect with voters in many different ways.
Tell me about those connections, because as I've watched your campaign from afar, you're not just going out there and talking to Democrats. You are crossing through your state, trying to talk to.
Yeah, Mandela Barnes losing to Ron Johnson was a scarring incident. And it wasn't because of his own faults or failures. It was literally because he was running as the most progressive person at that point. And when that happened, the National Party did not back him at all. They were too busy fucking deploying all funds to, if I remember, DSCC didn't support him, and they basically chose not to give him any aid. And the party was spending money elsewhere, like very foolish races, like, Val Demings and all these other foolish races. Whereas Mandela Barnes, like with a little bit of support, would have definitely actually defeated Ron Johnson. It was a huge deal back then, I remember. Having said that, Mandela Barnes is not the progressive hero either. I'm just saying, in comparison to fucking Ron Johnson, he would have been much better. And Mandela Barnes is basically in this race right now and has decent viability and is probably the best challenger to Francesca Hong, which is really, really bad. Unfortunately, I hope. The right thing to do for Barnes would be to literally drop out and lend all of his support to Francesca Hong. But none of these guys unfortunately actually give a shit about a movement They're not real movement builders. They are simply in it for themselves. That is the reality.
More conservative residents in Wisconsin. And I'm curious how it goes when you connect with them and then they hear that word socialist, which in so many of our media ecosystems is, something that they're told to be very afraid of.
Yeah, I know people who are longtime friends with Barnes, and I can tell you from the friends he keeps, he definitely ain't no progressive. Yeah, there was another person who literally said, I used to be friends with Barnes. Yeah, Mandela and I used to be friends, and now he's so moderate, shit sucks. Yeah, he pivoted. When he got cooked by the National Democrats from the DSCC and got no support, and he lost that race, I think it bricked him, and it made him into this Warrenite style wrecker.
I love talking to everyone and anyone, literally sometimes stopping folks in the streets. And what we hear so often is that people are stressed, they're tired, and they're ready for change as opposed to this chaos. I think that when folks hear socialism, they may be taken aback, but I bring it back to potholes and the Packers and public education and, issues that have broad bipartisan support and broad bipartisan opposition, like data centers, and then support for our public schools and universal childcare, lowering working class people's taxes by taxing the wealthiest few and mega corporations. These are issues and conversations that I'm having with folks in every corner of our state.
I want to talk to you and dig in a bit more.
What do the dumbass fucking Packers have to do with this? Fuck the Packers? Bro, shut the fuck up. Shut your bitch ass mouth up, okay? We're talking about the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Go Packers all day, every day. I'm a fucking cheesehead. Ride or die. Sorry. It's the only publicly owned fucking team, okay? It's the only motherfucking publicly owned team in the goddamn NFL. How dare you? How dare you? Public ownership, baby. Potholes, Packers, public schools, Francesca Hong in 5. Order a cheesehead? Are you fucking kidding me? I will be wearing that goddamn cheesehead when I go to Wisconsin. I'm coming. Wisconsin, I'm coming to your state. And I'll be wearing that goddamn cheesehead everywhere I go.
On data centers, because that's a huge issue, not just in Wisconsin, but around the country. And I know that there are some voters and some who are not Democrats considering you because of your stance on AI data centers. You've called for a moratorium on their construction. Your state already has dozens of them, though. And I'm wondering what you think you can really deliver for voters with a moratorium, and if there's any risk of Wisconsin losing out if construction continues all across the country.
These dozens of data centers across Wisconsin are exempt from sales and use tax, and the construction of more hyperscale AI data centers, the response has been that communities want community control, not NDAs and promises of jobs, but real concrete measures that will put regulations that preserve our natural resources, protect ratepayers from skyrocketing utility costs, and that we are thinking about our shared future for our kids, where there's clean water, lower costs, and taxpayers aren't on the hook for what could happen when these data centers are no longer in use.
I want to talk to you a bit about some of the debates and controversies that have also been a part of this race, because while we talked about socialism and sort of the labels coming from the right, the reality is that there are criticisms that have come on the left as well. You appeared on 2 controversial live streams, one with Hassan, another with a guy called Mike from Pennsylvania. Former Democratic Wisconsin Elections Commissioner Ann Jacobs said of your appearances this: when you decide these are the sort of people you want to hang out with in order to raise money, you have made clear that you either 1, agree with them, or 2, can be bought, or 3, both. Fran Hong appears to be all. She is willing to sell out the Jews of Wisconsin for a few bucks. And I want to give you the opportunity to respond to that.
I condemn hatred, discrimination, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia, any sort of dehumanizing of communities. Being on these streams, it's important that we get our message out in places where campaign struggled to reach voters. Just because I am on a platform certainly does not mean that I endorse everything that has been said.
MSNBC, by the way. MS Now. Calling me and Michael from Pennsylvania controversial. This is the most liberal mainstream media network. All I'm going to say is this. I've never appeared on MS Now. I've never appeared on MS Now. Think. Jonathan Greenblatt, on the other hand, appears on MS Now all the time. Yeah. My dog Kyra says hello. She also says she's happy for not having an electric collar. Hell yeah. My dog Kyra is also happy for not having an electric collar.
By either the hosts or other people who have gone on. And if candidates and elected officials who are speaking with more controversial hosts, if we are to be responsible for everything that they have ever said, I would point to the fact that Tom Tiffany.
I like how everyone just concedes to the idea that you're anti-Semitic and a terrorist. They just say they don't agree with your beliefs. It's fucking bullshit, to be honest. I don't care. I don't care because I don't want Abdul or Francesca to get bogged down defending the most negatively framed choice quotes that they're going to slam if they come across like they're endorsing everything that I've ever said. Okay? You have to be pragmatic. Obviously, if these people thought that I was a fucking vicious anti-Semite, they wouldn't come on my broadcast, okay? If they thought that myself or Michael from Pennsylvania were like rabid anti-Semites, then they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't come on my podcast, my broadcast, or his, right? It's just a very effective way to deflate this bad faith smear, this bad faith attack. Especially because it has nothing to do with policy, and these are policy-centered campaigns. Okay? These are policy-centered campaigns. The best thing you can do in the circumstances is to be like, look, I'm talking to a bunch of people that we have left behind. I'm not going to endorse every single thing that any content creator has said. But having said that, of course I'm going to go there to talk to people. Of course I'm going to go to talk to people. I don't agree with everything you've said, but I'm here talking to your audience, right? And as governor of a swing state, what I'm doing every day is talking to Trump voters, right? Hey, young man, do you have some kind of resource illustrating how you're not anti-Semitic against these ADL third-way websites, like a formal resource or something? I mean, not really. It's just my long, many years of advocacy. These elections aren't ego tests for you. If they need to shit on you to win, you don't give a shit. The reality is that those who you talk to, like Fran, Zoran, Abdul, understand that they don't have to shit on you to still be on the right side of issues. Exactly. If they were to turn around and be like, yeah, Hasan, I'm really sorry for going on his stream. Okay. I'm really sorry for going on his stream. He's really bad. He's really fucked up or whatever. That actually would not just like ruin their credibility, but that actually would be a massive mistake. Not because I'm like a super popular person, right? I'm not saying that at all. But it would be a mistake because then they would be admitting guilt when no such guilt needs to be admitted. Then they would say, oh, well, why did you go on a stream then? Are you stupid? Why did you do that? Like, so that would be a sign of weakness, and that would be weaponized against them. Okay? That would be weaponized against them endlessly. as a matter of fact, them refusing to back down on these appearances and also deflecting on these appearances, like being raised as an issue, is the smart thing to do, because they get to solidify not only their support for certain causes, right? But then also on top of that, they get to show that they're real fighters, that they're not going to back away from certain issues, like their moral convictions, right? On certain issues, especially on Israel, which is huge. And not only that, but they also get to reframe the conversation about how open-minded they are about. They get to reframe the conversation around like being able to talk to people where they are. Okay.
The Republican likely nominee, has been on a radio show that has called for the execution of the governor of Minnesota. So I think it's important to recognize that when we are campaigning in areas where folks may not have.
Are you going to talk about this? Dude, what's happening? You spammed the chat with bullshit. Yeah, I saw, man. I don't care. Yeah, she literally said she was wrong and apologized for it. The fuck do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Or who are you in the tank for? Because let me tell you something, okay? Francesca Hong is far above everybody else in this fucking race in terms of her advocacy for Palestinians. So who are you in favor of? Who is your replacement? Who the fuck do you think is better on this issue? Yes, Francesca Hong apologized when she saw an effigy that she thought was anti-Semitic. Her constituents were calling her on it. She called 911 to be like, hey, can you guys take this down? Like, this looks like a hate crime. Okay? This was in 2023. Do you feel like this is a valid critique? Like, she apologized for it. She literally said she regrets the decision, that she was wrong about it, that she's sorry for it. Do you feel like this is a relevant point? She's over here literally fucking defending, going on my stream, going on Michael from Pennsylvania's stream, saying like we got to go on these different places. So what is it? Why are you bringing this up? Yeah, people tricked her by cropping photos, and she introduced the bill at the suggestion of the artist. 33% of your chat left your community for less. Yes, I know. She lied about it. She's flip-flopping. Yes, this is very concerning about her judgment. Who are you invested in this race? Tell me right now. I will endorse them instead. Who's your guy? Or gal? Come on. Go ahead. We're waiting. I want to hear. Who's your person? She called it a genocide a week after October 7th. She was a leader in the uncommitted movement in Wisconsin. She has done the fucking laps. She has the legitimacy. This is not only a fuck up, certainly, okay, but it's an explainable one. Tell me who your guy is. Following since 38 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. I think we can have a conversation about how concerning this is. Why is that crazy? Explain to me why you think it's appropriate to tarnish the actual moral conviction demonstrated by a person who has gone above and beyond on this issue. Explain to me why you think someone who's an advocate for not only BDS, but also an embargo on Israel, running for Wisconsin governor, is being called into question. Okay, is being called into question. Who is your person in this race? Who's your person in this race? Who's your preferred candidate? I'm asking you a super simple question. Who is your preferred candidate? Not Fran. Okay, so who is it? Ultra or APAC intern, call it? No, this is nothing. Who's your preferred candidate? Carlos Dixon. Carlos Dixon is your preferred candidate. Independent writing campaign, Carlos Dixon. I think you're talking to him right now. No, I'm not. I think this person looked up whoever they could potentially, because they said not Fran at first, after I kept asking over and over again. Okay. Writing candidate for Wisconsin governor posts videos of himself removing yards from signs. Writing candidate for Wisconsin governor posted a video on social media of himself. Carlos Lamar Dixon, an independent candidate for governor, posted the video to Facebook on May 27, pulling yard signs out of lawns in Milwaukee's Riverwest neighborhood. Dixon targeted campaign signs for state rep Francesca Hong's gubernatorial campaign and state rep Ryan Clancy's re-election campaign. Both of those candidates are supported by the Democratic Socialists of America, or DSA. Dixon told the Milwaukee Courier that the yard signs are being held hostage and for ransom in opposition to the DSA's campaigns. Dixon ties the DSA organization to Zionists and the Israeli government. I'm an anti-Zionist. I'm an anti-imperialist. I am anti-colonialism. That's what motivated me to do it, Dixon said. I don't want to make a version of capitalism that works for America. We need a revolution right now. Dixon said it's a contradiction that the Hong campaign is running on an affordability agenda while asking for donations. Hong claims, dude, I'm sorry. Every damn day that I have to fucking deal with another like spiritual Spartacist is another damn day where I get closer and closer to certain excesses and certain political concepts that I never thought I would be understanding of, never thought I would be sympathetic to. Okay? Oh my fucking God. No, this is not an ultra. It's worse. It's a trot. I always wondered when I first ventured into left book territory many, many years ago, all the way pre 2016, I always wondered why one of the number one rules in every left book group was no trots. At first I was like, what is the reason for this? What's up with the fucking trots? Why is every ideological tendency on the left saying no fucking trots? Why is that the reason? You learned the fucking reason fairly early on. Thank you. Yeah. Pie in the sky idealism. A revolution that never came. A demand against pragmatism every single step of the way. And then turning into a fucking neocon. later down the line. Telltale markers of a... Never mind. I don't even want to move into this any longer. Okay? Yeah. One of the most famous former Spartacists is Jim Cramer. Mad Money Jim Cramer. Always remember that! Look, there are plenty of instances where MLs will get mad at me and will yell about my destructive behavior of the revolutionary tendency, a bastardization of Lenin's writings. Well, I guess Trots do that too, because they also will talk about Lenin on great terms. Thank you for this, chatter. This guy isn't a trot. He's just very mentally ill. Well,
a Milwaukee man running for governor of Wisconsin is stealing political campaign signs around town and posting videos about it on social media. Even though it's illegal, he says he won't stop doing it. Check this out.
So you're running for governor, but it appears you're breaking laws every day. Why should Wisconsinites trust you?
I mean, am I breaking any laws?
I'll have that.
Carlos Lamar Dixon
all day long.
Has spent this past week recording himself.
Enjoy your Ring doorbell camera.
Stealing campaign signs of Democratic gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong.
Not this bull right here, though.
And 19th District Representative Ryan Clancy. Dixon, who says he's an independent write-in candidate for governor, filmed this video Thursday in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood and posted it to Facebook. When was the first time you've done this? Is this new?
It is new. I think it was yesterday.
Dixon says he's not stealing the signs. Instead,
taking signs for ransom as hostage. I am anti-MAGA. I am anti-capitalism. I am anti-establishment. I am anti-Zionism. So whoever falls under those categories can feel the wrath of my political dissent.
On Thursday, Dixon insisted 12 News interview him.
Interesting that he's only going after Democratic Socialist candidates, though. Interesting.
In front of a Milwaukee police station.
If I do get arrested, I'll get out and I'll try to find some more signs.
So you're not concerned about being?
Not concerned at all.
We asked Milwaukee police if they're aware of the Facebook videos. The department said they did not have any calls for service regarding them. Dixon also posted on Facebook Thursday, writing, quote, "Politicians should be grateful that all I want is yard signs and not their heads." Was that a threat?
Was it a threat? I'm asking you a question. Was it a threat?
I'm asking you. Was it a threat?
I'm asking you. Was it a threat?
Dixon says his sign stealing will cross political lines and target a GOP gubernatorial candidate too.
I see some Tom Tiffany signs out there. I'm going to go snatch those up if I get the chance.
He doesn't know how many signs he's taken, but claims they're all at his home.
This is the candidate of this guy's choosing who was like, Francesca Hong is bad.
Have already heard our message. It's important to let them know.
Campaign lawn signs are a vehicle of bourgeois capitalist and imperialist oppression on the proletariat of the world, if you really think about it, is true. It's funny, the deeper you go into like leftist movements, the more experience you have in these spaces, the more you will see these people over and over again. They always prop up.
Know that we are a campaign that is fighting for working class people, and it's important that folks are staying engaged on our elections here in Wisconsin.
I want to ask you about how Israel and Gaza have also reshaped this race. It's reshaped the Democratic Party all across the country. It's not just the case in Wisconsin. You have made very clear, you've said that you believe Israel has committed genocide in Gaza. And there's also been this debate in your state over an incident from 2023 in which you called the police twice to report an anti-Israel protest display of some kind on behalf of constituents who told you at that time that they believed that it was anti-Semitic. You've since apologized for doing that. Can you explain why?
I was unaware that this was an act of protest. I did not see the words ceasefire now, and I was responding to community members and my constituents that had expressed deep concern over that display. And so I was responding to people's fear and pain, and I always will choose.
There's trots in the DSA too, by the way. I'm not talking about all of them. All right. Talking about a very specific type.
To make sure that communities feel safe. And as a democratic socialist, it means that my values are rooted in democracy, fairness, and human rights. And whether it's here or across different parts of the country or across the world, it's important that we denounce genocide and call it for what it is, and vow to protect communities and ensure that everyone feels safe in practicing their faith.
With our final seconds here, can you just tell me?
They followed 40 minutes ago, subbed the post, and then deactivated their account, by the way. I'm willing to bet that is actually him. At first, I didn't think that was the case, but low-key, that is definitely him. It's either him or a federal agent at this point. This guy's on my feed every day. I hate him. I'm from Milwaukee. He constantly hates on Hong and calls you out. By the way, that was him earlier. Respect. That was definitely him. What is this? Look at my communist dog. Oh, dude, come on. Stop. We're not doing that. No, that's bait. I don't want to touch that right now. Stop it.
Bit about how you plan to build on the legacy of Tony Evers in the state.
Because that's like twofold. Look, I just did the Socialist Worker Party Marxist conference, okay? I don't want to get into this right now. That's a trot organization, is it not?
Someone that many Democrats still have immense affection for there, and maybe wondering sort of how your policies, your process may build on his.
We will carry forward the governor's passion for public education, ensuring that we are fully funding our public schools and public universities, that our governor has been forced to govern by defense, and Democrats now have an opportunity to win back the trifecta and ensure that we are delivering for Wisconsinites on healthcare, on public schools, on environmentalism. Our Wisconsin progressive roots run deep, and this is a state where so many progressive ideals and policies have come from, and we're ready to move those forward and deliver for Wisconsinites.
Francesca Hong, so good to have you on MS Now. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me, Antonia.
Look, all you need to know about some of the trot tendencies is that
If Democrats
they get the benefit of leaning into a profoundly important participation of the revolution who never actually seized power afterwards. So they never had to deal with all of the issues of governance. Okay? That's it. That's the nicest, most charitable interpretation of people who love Trotsky and believe that he would have done a better job than Stalin. Okay? The problem is there's one element of Trotsky, who was a fantastic writer for the record. There's one element of Trotsky that some trots carry the flame on, which is being unparalleled in being a fucking nuisance. Okay? It's insane. Down to motherfucking Frida Kahlo. The encounters. The encounters show the history.
Have any hope of winning control of the Senate this November? Virtually every path involves holding each seat that they currently control while flipping 4 Republican-held seats. The most vulnerable of the states that they are currently defending is now Michigan, which MS now rates as a toss-up. With the Democratic primary now less than a month away, the latest poll shows a statistical dead heat. Congresswoman Haley Stevens, a 4-term moderate, has the support of 42% of voters.
Not Haley Stevens carrying the flame. I mean, we do it too, so let's be real. We do it too here, folks. Folks! We do it too. As long as you subscribe. If you subscribe for $6 or for free or gift a sub. If you subscribe for $6 or for free or gift a sub, we too can carry the flame like Haley Stevens.